Good morning, stamping friends. How is everybody doing today, this Friday morning? Well, it's morning in Arizona anyway. I know some of you watch from the East Coast, so it's a little bit later, but I hope you guys are doing well. I just wanted to ask a quick question on how you like the new catalog. And if you don't have a catalog, please let me know because I have a stack here and I'd be happy to get one to you. So just email me or text me or send me a message and let me know. Well, I have a project to share with you today, and I also want to remind you of a class to go that I have coming up, and also on this special deal that Stampin' Up! Has for signing up. So let me switch my camera around here, this awkward moment when you have to see me jiggle the camera, and there's just no easy way to do this. All right, let me zoom a little bit. Oh gosh, sorry about this. What is everyone's weekend plans? We don't really have anything going on other than same old, but that's all right. I kind of enjoy the downtime here. All right, I think that's good. All right, so my class to go, the deadline is coming up for this. I know some of you have seen it a lot, but sometimes there's new viewers, so I just want to quickly review. One of my most favorite stamp sets from the new catalog is called Jars of Flowers, and it's really cute because it has these cute little jars, mason jars, and I'm going to just really quickly run through the projects. And I'm using the new in color note cards. So a lot of you have asked me how I get these little white dots around here. Whoops, this is crooked. It's moving. But anyway, I did not have to stamp those. They are automatically on the cardstock. So that was a pre-printed thing. But isn't that cute how it just frames, you know, whatever you put in the inside. So this is a clear mason jar. I did that on a window sheet. So that's the first one. The next one is using Misty Moonlight color. I just stamped around the edge and used some new DSP. So that one's fun. And our new gingham ribbon is with that. This one has some cellophane around it. So it looks kind of like a bouquet of flowers to give to someone. And just another idea with a new textured background embossing folder. And then the next one is a little windowsill with a planter box with flowers in it. By the way, all the sentiments are from Itty Bitty Birthdays, and that's an add-on that you can do. And the last one, I used the little domes, and I put some sunflowers in there just to give it something a little bit different. But that's a birthday card with the sunflower set. And really quickly, I'll just show you the breakdown. You can read through this a little closer on my blog or my websites on Facebook. But these are the different options. One has the works with all the products I use. This one takes the bundle away if you already have that. And then there's always option C, which is the tutorial for $10. And it's step-by-step instructions and large pictures, very easy to follow. So the deadline for this class is on June 15th, which is Monday. So you only have a couple more days to sign up for this. Then I'm going to close it and I'll start working on the kits to send to you. All right, the next thing I want to share with you is that Pick a Bundle starter kit promotion with Stampin' Up. We're about halfway through the month almost, and so you just have a little over 2 weeks to decide if you want to do this. Remember, if you join my community, it doesn't mean that you have to have classes. It just means you're a discount shopper, which is why I originally signed up. And these are all the bundles that you can choose from. And look at the values on these. Oh, there is one over $60. So it's just a really good deal. For $99, you choose $125 of any products in the catalog, plus throw this on top of it. And there's free shipping, so that saves you another 10%. And then once you sign up, then you can purchase all your products at a discount. So it's really a great deal. So if you have any questions, please let me know and I'd be happy to chat with you about that. All right, let's get started on today's project. I am going to use the Forever Fern set again, And this comes in a bundle. You get a set of dies if you get the bundle, and this beautiful stamp set. And excuse me, I have had so much fun with this because I don't know, there's just so many combinations and you can use so many colors. I can't wait to use this in fall colors. And excuse me, let me grab a drink quick. Got a little tickle in my throat. I used this for my Creative You this month, and so everyone that came to my house, which wasn't too many, only about a third of them came because of the virus situation. I had them come one by one, but it was still fun to see people and had to wipe everything down. But you know, slowly but surely I'll get back into the classes. But you can always do this online as well. Anytime you make a $35 or more purchase, not counting the class to go, then you can get in on the projects that we make. The project I'm going to share with you today is not one that we did in the class, but I have this stamp set right out on my desk, so I'm using it all the time. Okay, we're going to use in color cardstock. This is called Just Jade, and this is a 4 1/4 by 11 inch piece of cardstock. And then I scored it in half at 5 1/2, and we'll just fold on that line. And then I have one more score mark at 2 3/4 here, and this is, and then I embossed in the new Greenery to get my computer up because I'm still learning all the names of the new products. Sometimes it takes a while, but this is called the Greenery embossing folder, and you get 2 folders in one stack or in one pack. This is one of them. So we're going to make a Z fold. Whoops, I folded that one the wrong way. All right, so we want it to look like this. So half of this one has some embossing on it so that it opens like this. And I will have the PDF if you prefer line by line, or I'm going to post this video on my blog. All right, so that's the front of our card. The next thing we're going to do is take a piece of white cardstock. And this is, it doesn't have to be real exact because we're going to be trimming it down, but it is 3 1/2 by 5. And for this project, grab some paper here. We forgot to get my white paper that's going to go underneath because we definitely want paper under here. You're going to get your work area all linked up. We're going to use a lot of greens on this card. The first one we're going to do is Pretty Peacock, and you know what? We're going to stamp on this first. We are going to stamp on tissue. I forgot we have to do our top layer. So this is a new technique using tissue paper. This is just from, you know, like a gift that you put in a gift bag. Just, you can buy tissue paper anywhere. It's not a Stampin' Up! Product. So we are going to make our own little background here, and I'm using Pretty Peacock ink in the largest stamp that's in this set, and we're just going to randomly stamp every which way. I usually try to maybe make about 3 stamps with the larger stamp, or the largest stamp I should say. All right, and the next color we're going to use Just Jade. We for sure want this color in with the mix because that's the color of our base, and I did kind of a medium-sized one. It really doesn't matter if you want it, you know, the tones darker, use your darker greens, and if you want it lighter, you can use the lighter tones. I'm using a little bit of everything though. So we'll do our third one here. You can even overlap them. All right, the next one we're going to use Old Olive. This is kind of a old standby color. I use this one probably the most of all the greens, although I am liking this Just Jade. All right, so let's do 3 again. 1, 2, one more down here. All right, the next color we're going to use is Pear Pizzazz. And you can see that each time I stamp, my stamps are getting smaller. I like to start with the largest one because if you fill it up with smaller stamps, sometimes it's harder to get the larger ones to fit in between. It's easier to start with the largest stamp and work smaller. So this one's kind of similar to Old Olive, but it's a little bit lighter. So just fill in some of these gaps wherever you see white space. And like I said, it doesn't matter if it overlaps some of the other ones. Let me do a little bit here. All right, one last color. This one is going to be Soft Seafoam. This is the lightest one, and watch this. You're barely going to see it on the tissue, but that's okay. That's how I wanted it. I want it to fill in the gap, and you can go hog wild on this one because you can barely see it, and it just kind of fills in that white space. So you may not even be able to see it on the camera, but you can see just a really faint green here to fill in. All right, it's like we made our own little background paper. Now, this is the fun part. You are gonna scrunch this up as small as you can because we want lots of wrinkles in here. And then now the hard part is carefully taking it or opening it up so that you don't rip it. I guess if you ripped it, it would add to the kind of the effect. But we're kind of looking for the pressed paper feel. So when you unscrunch it, don't get all the wrinkles out. You can leave some in. Now we can take that piece of cardstock, and I like to use the thicker one because I think it'll be easier to maneuver. And I'm just taking a glue stick that I got at Walmart and filling this whole front with glue, and make sure you get the edges. All right, now we're just gonna set this on top, and when you do this, don't stretch it out too much because you want wrinkles in there, okay? And then, oh, I wonder, I'm gonna lift this up, see if you can see it. It's so pretty. It's just like very textured, and it's gonna give it a dimension because it's wrinkly, you know? And then that's really all you do. Now the next thing that we would do, oh, also you can lift it. Like say if you forgot a little bit of glue down here, just add a little bit more because you want the edges to stick. Now the next thing that we're gonna do, which I did previously because I did not want to bring my Big Shot over here, but I ran this through the Big Shot and I cut it with the stitched rectangle die. So it leaves a nice little edge that finishes it off, and this is the die that's about 4 3/8 by 3. So that's the size that you want. Now, the next part is tying a ribbon around here. I took the Just Jade ribbon, and this is, I'm trying to see how wide it is. I'm guessing it's about 1/4 inch. So I'm left-handed, so you may do this backwards from me, so just kind of bear with me, but you can kind of see how I do bows. So I tie it like that, and then I try to hold my finger in the middle while I'm maneuvering this. Whoops. Pull it tight, and then just tie your bow. It doesn't have to be perfect because if it's upside down, we can turn it around. We can pull this off and make it, like sometimes I slip the whole thing off and then turn it the other way. It just depends on how. Looks like it's gonna lay pretty good this way. All right, so however big you want your loops, let's make it a little bit smaller. All right, now we can, oh, my phone keeps dinging, of course, when I'm on live here, but that's all right. All right, then just trim the edges down. This ribbon is super easy to work with. All right, now I'm just gonna pull it down a little bit. Now the next thing we're gonna do is stamp a sentiment that's gonna go with this. Look at all the greens you have to choose from. It really doesn't even matter what color you use. And then I did a stitch circle, which is from the Stitch Shapes die, and this is about, not quite 2 inches, about 1 7/8. And I think I'll use, let's use the dark one. pretty peacock. Like I said, it really doesn't matter. So I love the sentiment, to a friend that makes me smile. There's a lot of people I could send this to. So just go right smack in the middle. And then I wanted to set it off even more and coordinate it. So I am going to take this size leaf. This is the one that we use, Pear Pizzazz. Let me clean it off quick because I'm going to use a new color. And then I'm going to take that really light, soft Seafoam, and I want it, even though this is a really light green, I want it even lighter. So I'm going to stamp off once and then put it right smack in the middle like this. So I don't know if you can see that, but there's such a faint leaf under there. All right, now I want to figure out where I'm going to place this. And one thing, do you see how it's kind of loose? I could have tied that bow tighter, but how you can fix that is, let me figure out where I want it first. Before I tape down, I usually kind of place it how I want it. Let's move it a little bit to the left. All right, because it's loose, I'm just going to flip it over and I'm going to adhere it. This is our new tape. This is my first time using it, so I'm going to practice with you guys and then go over here. Okay, you can even slice it if you want, but because there's a little bit of a gap. Or another thing you can do is just take two-way tape. I always keep some Scotch tape, two-way tape for little fixes like this. I just wanted it a little bit tighter. All right, so now we're gonna put this on here, but I wanted even more of a background. So I took my Pretty Peacock, one of the dies, and I'm gonna put this behind it just to kind of set it off. And again, I'm gonna, well, let's try this tape on the back. You're not gonna see any of this because the, that little circle that we just did is going to be on top of this. Holy cow, this is way stickier than snail. I can tell that already. All right, so let's just put that in an angle like that. And now we'll take this circle and we'll put a few dimensionals on the back. And I'm going to put it at the top and the bottom so that it goes around that bow that I just did. And my paper is sticky. I might have to get rid of that because I have the glue stick and I have my new tape on there. All right, so let's get this on. We are almost done with this card. And I'm going to put it a little bit off center like that. All right, now the next step. Oh, I'm debating if I should cut it or just finish it and show you because I forgot to cut out the background piece. I think I'll just show you my final one, but I want to do the inside of the card. So I took the same size of the one that I cut out with the stitch rectangles. Again, that size is 4 1/4 by 3. And I'm going to flip this over. We want to stamp a little bit on this. So I'm going to take that same leaf size, where did that go? Right here. And I'm going to do Pear Pizzazz on this one. And just do one little one down in the left corner. And then take your Seafoam little dots again and do one. And then you don't have to re-ink it. Just make them light. And then for this one, for the inside of the card, we're just going to put it right on the inside and just kind of center it. And then, like I said, I'm just going to have to show you the finished one because I forgot to cut out a layer of Pretty Peacock. Welcome to Facebook Live, where what you see is what you get. All right, here is the finished card. So it looks like this. Do you see how I did one more layer of the Pretty Peacock? And let me tell you what that dimension is. It'll be in the PDF. So it's 4 1/2 by 3 1/8. So that's that layer. And I just used regular tape. I didn't pop it up because it has enough dimension the way it is. Wish you could see how cool that is with the wrinkly tissue. And then when you open it, it just looks like that and you write your little message there. So that's my card I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me on this Friday. I should be back next Tuesday for my Facebook Live and show you another project. And don't forget the deadline for my Jars of Flowers class is this Monday. So be sure and sign up if you're interested. Thank you again, guys.